welcome back to the Sugar Freedom Kitchen. Today it's time for Keto Quiche Cups. And I think we've got this set pretty well. I'm gonna make a minor adjustment. Bear with me. There we go. All right. So you can see my workspace and you can see me. As I said, we're back in the Sugar Freedom Kitchen. We're making Keto Quiche Cups. I have been making these for 10 years. Originally, it was the Atkins recipe when I was doing Atkins, and I've done a couple of tweaks to it, and now it is the Keto Quiche Cup recipe. I'm going to make these. I'm going to make a dozen, and my husband will take some to work tomorrow, which will be cool. He teaches, and the kids at school like to sample my cooking. Thank you for Somerville Connection students. All right, so here we go. We're going to need, you're going to be needing eggs and cheese. That's going to be the base. So it is vegetarian. I'm not putting any meat in this. You're going to need a 12 muffin pan. If you don't have a muffin pan, you can simply use a baking pan. Nice and easy. Don't forget to butter it. So important, you have to grease the pan so that these will come out well. 2 weeks ago, I decided to make these and I tried using paper liners. It was a disaster. They stuck to the liners. So you just have to use the pan or use the baking dish, but grease it. I'll show you my method for greasing the pan. I just take a paper towel, kind of dip it in the soft butter that's been out on the counter, and then just rub it in the different cups. And it's gonna take about a whole tablespoon to grease a pan of this size. It's time to start mixing the ingredients. I'll go ahead and read them off to you, and I will write them in the description. So we're going to have a muffin pan. We're gonna have butter to grease the pan. I'm going to use 2 cups of chopped frozen spinach. Let me show you the bag. You can, of course, use fresh. I have this in the freezer. I pretty much always have chopped frozen spinach in the freezer, so I warmed up half the bag. I thawed it 3 minutes in the microwave. And it came out just like this, and I'm going to use 2 cups of this. And I'm going to use a whole cup of shredded cheese. What do I have today? You could use, typically you would use cheddar, you could use cheddar jack. I happen to have a lot of mozzarella here shredded. I was making my keto pizzas, so I'm just gonna use mozzarella. Classically, you would probably use cheddar or a mix of cheddar and Monterey Jack, so I'm gonna use a cup of this, and then I'm also going to reserve a little bit because then I'll sprinkle some on top just before I put it in the oven. So there's the cheese. And then we're gonna have 6 eggs beaten. Remember, you're making this so that you have leftovers or so that you can freeze them. So we're using 6 eggs, so we have plenty, so we have 12 quiche cups. Then we're gonna have a 1/4 cup of bell pepper diced. I'm just gonna use half of a red bell pepper. I use the red because I like the color. And we're going to have, I'm just gonna do half an onion. You do half an onion too. And then I'm going to do a stalk of celery, and then the seasonings. And I'm gonna use some garlic powder. I'm gonna use some salt and pepper. You could use a couple of drops of red pepper sauce or Tabasco sauce if you wish to. I'm not gonna do this because when we serve them, I usually top them with some salsa anyway. All right, so it's time to begin with the mixing and the chopping. So the first thing I'm gonna do is grab a fork, and I'm gonna start with, the biggest stuff first. So I'm gonna mix up my 6 eggs. I already cracked them in there. There I am. And I'm just lightly beating them. I'm gonna be mixing everything up anyway in a little bit, so you don't have to worry about spending a whole lot of time beating those eggs. Get it all in there, set it aside. And here is a cup of shredded cheese. Like I said, today we're using mozzarella. If you're gonna err on the side of going over, not under. I don't know, how precise are you as a cook? I am not a real big precision cook. I'm a that's pretty close kind of cook, and I find that it works really well. So just a little bit over on the cup of cheese, and now we're gonna go with the chopped spinach, which has been thawed in the microwave. So I'm gonna get this into, here comes 1 cup. Oh, if you wanted to make it even more strong keto, right? More strong keto, you can just use less of the vegetables. You could conceivably just use the eggs and the cheese, season, and then bake if you wanted to be super keto and fewer vegetables. There's 1 cup, and the rest in there will be the 2nd cup. I might have been a little bit short. No big deal, there's plenty of spinach in here. Mix that around just a little bit, kind of show you what we're looking at now. All right, so now what's the next ingredient? I pretty much go from largest to smallest, so let's next go with the onion. Let's see, let me show you the onion slicing technique that I use. Get this in here. Number 1, use a sharp knife. So what I do, I'm gonna put my glasses back on because one of the things that I do find that can help to keep you from crying when you do the onion is if I wear my glasses, I'm less likely to cry. If you don't wear glasses, you could grab a pair of sunglasses as long as they're not too dark and you're not gonna be dangerous and cut yourself. So first things first, cut off one end, then the other end, discard, cut it in half, peel away the outside coating. And this is for half an onion. So then you've got your sharp knife and you're gonna cut, I guess that's about 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, but you're gonna see these cuts I'm making. So you make these cuts down, but not all the way through. And you go all the way across. I'm gonna turn it around. I'm left-handed. Make the cuts, and another one here, and another one here. And then carefully, yeah, you can see me great, come right down and slice down. It gets harder as I get to the widest point because my hands are pretty small. Yep, there we go. Gets a little bit harder as I get to the ends, but that's okay. And as you can see, I curled my fingers to keep them safe from the knife. And then just to get a little bit finer, I'm gonna come in here and chop across. And I'm not crying because I have my glasses on, which kind of protects my eyes. So you can see, I have to move these over. These in the bowl, move you over. And in it goes. Getting close. More than halfway there. And now I've got the red bell pepper, and this looks like enough. So this one, I'm just gonna kind of chop those down. When I do the red pepper, I like to do it the smooth side down. I find it easier to chop that way. Doing my best to curve my fingers out of the way. Keep them safe. So many chefs on internet, on YouTube, much better at chopping than me. My purpose is to demonstrate how a mom who was overweight and obese for years learns how to cook for herself and for her normal, non-overweight family so that we can all get satisfied and enjoy life and enjoy our food, and so that you can too. Almost there. As I said before, I like to use the red pepper because of the color. All right, so I'm just gonna get in here and a couple more cuts. And you decide how fine or how chunky you want your vegetables. There they go. And that is fine enough for me. Oh, it's getting so colorful. I love it. And it goes. All right, glasses off. And now the celery, and if I can, I like to pick a stalk with some leaves. I believe that the leaves add some flavor. Nice and small. Getting a little better. Just put those in there. Here come the leaves. Oh, I have preheated the oven to 350 Fahrenheit. So the oven is preheated to 350 degrees. We're getting so close. Getting so close to mixing and putting the mixture into the muffin cups. All right, now we're on seasonings. We've gotten to the seasoning part. A teaspoon of garlic powder. Is this gonna come off? All right, glasses on. And the fork. Careful when you do this. Oh, darn it. It's a beautiful day, so I had the screen door open. All right, there we go. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Nice and easy. There it is. Quarter teaspoon of pepper. Of course, your salt and pepper, you're going to do salt and pepper to your taste, correct? Screw that. Notice that I'm pouring out the pepper over the cutting board instead of over the bowl. The reason why is if I slip and overdo it, it could ruin the recipe if I'm doing it over the bowl. So I'm actually gonna open this here and then half a teaspoon, there it is, of salt. So a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of salt, quarter teaspoon of pepper. Measure over the cutting surface instead of over the bowl, and that way, if you slip, you won't ruin your recipe by putting in too much salt or too much pepper. All right. So here's a spoon. Why am I using just a standard tablespoon? I like it because the mixture doesn't stick to it, and then also it gives me good control over how much of the mixture I'm putting into the muffin tin. Oh, it's so colorful. I just love it. Colorful, colorful, and tasty. Vegetables. If you want to get more into your diet, this is a great way to do it. If you don't want as many of this, you just pull back on them. Add some more cheese, add some more eggs. All right. So there it is, a quiche cup. The other thing that you could do, if you're keto, and you're getting about 20 grams total of carbohydrates a day, this could be a side dish. So you could do chicken or pork or beef, and then serve these on the side so that it isn't necessarily your main dish, because at least keto-wise, this does have a lot of vegetables in it. All right, I'm gonna start and fill my muffin tin. Make some room and get it right up here. And as you can see, just gonna push it in that way. I don't know. I tried it, that wasn't the greatest. So instead, I'm just gonna scoop it and drop it in. You have to, as a cook, it's incredibly helpful to continue to experiment with new techniques, new ways of doing things. Also, my recommendation when making a recipe that's going into a muffin tin is you just kind of get some in each spot, right? So I've got, all right. So see how this is pretty full? And I just drop it in there. And then what's gonna happen is I'm going to get some in each muffin spot, correct? And then I'm gonna go back and fill in with what's left in the bowl. And so then you don't end up with, oh no, you've got like one or two that are really full, and then you've got a couple of average ones, and then you have like some orphan muffin spots. No orphan muffin spots, get them all in. All right, so that's what we've got for now. They're not all even, some are emptier than others. And here's what I have left in the bowl, but now I have plenty to go back in and say, aha, all right, that one needs more, and this one needs more. These are not really gonna rise, so don't overfill and make a mess, but you can get them fairly full because, as I said, they're not truly muffins, so they're not gonna rise. They're just going to bake and melt and firm up and get delicious. I so much enjoy to bite into these. I like to serve these with a little bit of salsa. You could also serve them a dollop of sour cream on top, and then a dollop of salsa on top of that. Oh, so good. You can also use, pizza seasonings in these. So you would use oregano and basil and make it more of an Italian style. You could use cumin and make them more Mexican style. But this is kind of just the traditional quiche cup recipe as I originally learned it. And notice that this one was pretty full, the one next to it not full enough, so I just moved some stuff around. And that looks, yep, that looks pretty good. And then the last step, the final step is, and so I don't stick my hand down in the bag, I'm just gonna get some extra cheese. Well, there we go. And then I'm gonna top it with extra cheese. Once again, this one's too full. Probably that big piece of onion is why. And this one needs it. All right. And just a little bit of extra mozzarella or whatever cheese you're using. Traditionally, you would use cheddar. Just a little bit more. Oh, wow. I cannot wait to have one of these. These are making me really look forward to eating a quiche cup. And there. And there. The last thing I will do is take the paper towel I used for the butter and if little bits of the cheese and the vegetables and the egg are on the outside, they will kind of bake on and burn on a little bit. I mean, it won't cause any harm, but it does make it much harder to clean off. So if you can make sure that everything is pushed back into the space where it's supposed to be, it's gonna help you save on cleaning time. All right, there we go. There they are. They're going in the oven for 20 minutes. Ta-da! Middle rack. Set the timer. Woohoo! Let me just check that. Make sure. 350, 20 minutes until a toothpick. You insert a toothpick and it comes out clean. So there they go. Thank you for watching this, and thanks for watching all the way through. I'm so grateful for all of my subscribers. Eek! Sorry about that. We are up to, at the time of this recording, 420, and I'm so grateful for all of you. So please, if you have any questions, please comment, question, like, and share. And if you want to know anything about going keto, going low carb, cooking, or training, just ask. I'm here for you. All right. You can get the nutrition program at sugarfreedom.com. You can find out more about my fitness programs at cardiofreedom.com. I also do custom fitness designs. I have some issues with my knees. I have had to train through obesity and had to learn how to train around that difficulty and came through it. So if you want a training program, just simply contact me, Catherine, at cardiofreedom.com, and you can put training program in the subject line. Thank you so much for watching. This was a lot of fun, and I look forward to seeing you back here next time in the Sugar Freedom Kitchen. Bye-bye, everybody.